Welcome to MMA Noise. I'm Mike Straka, along with the new UFC Lightweight Champion, Eddie Alvarez. Eddie, first of all, congratulations. You expected to hear and knew because you knocked Rafael dos Anjos out. But what was it like to hear and knew? It's such an iconic thing when guys become champions with Bruce Buffer.
We made shirts. You see them, and knew we hashtagged it. We just kept saying it to myself, even though sometimes your mind starts thinking the other way, like, oh, this guy's dangerous. He could possibly beat me, this and that. We just kept saying to ourselves, it's our time. We've worked hard for this. We're prepared, and let's go in there and get it done. And we did.
One of the things that struck me after the fight in your post-fight interview, you said, I heard him and I had to empty the gas tank. What's it like knowing if you don't finish him, if you empty the gas tank, what happens in round two?
You can't think too far ahead. That thought can't pop in. Because that thought pops in, that means you're not focused. So I think what it is Rafael dos Anjos is a veteran. It's very rare that you can have a guy like that make a mistake or catch him hard. So when you do, you need to go in on him because you may never get that chance again. And once I heard him pretty good. I made that adjustment and went in.
Edson Barbosa was talking to me about how when you joined the camp, he had to fight Gilbert Melendez, he had to fight Anthony Pettis, and guys that you fought, and he said immediately you were so giving and you held nothing back, and you said, okay, he's just going to try this on you, and here's what he did when he fought me. What's it like being that guy in a new gym? I mean, you've had several gyms, but now you've kind of found home again with Frankie and Ricardo and Mark Henry.
Every once in a while when you join a camp, you can figure out, you got to be a good judge of character. You can figure out the guys who are there to give and the guys who are there to take. And fortunately, at Ricardo, I made his, and with Mark Henry, there's nothing but givers in that arena. So when you're around guys like that, you don't mind giving back. It feels good actually to give back and be able to add value to that kind of group of guys. Edson, Marlon, Frankie, myself, and then everyone else around us. So when you got a bunch of guys who are for the cause, willing to put the effort in, willing to give, it makes you want to give as well. So that's how I feel about Edson.
Speaking of giving, you and your wife have been together since before high school. It's been a long journey. You've been a champion in Dream. You've been a champion in Bellator. I was one of these guys who asked you back at my Fighting Word show, what about the UFC? And you said, Mike, being in the UFC is not the end-all, be-all. Now you are here and you're the champion. I mean, that journey has been, I can't even, can you describe how it's been for you?
It's been a marathon, man. Everybody asked about when I'm going to do this and when I'm going to do that. I say, look, this is a marathon. It's not a sprint. I love this. I'm passionate about it. And the idea is to wake up every day and grow a little bit more. You don't need a sprint to do that. When you start sprinting, you get ahead of yourself, you mess up, you might fall over yourself. So it's a marathon for me. I was willing to wait my turn, put my time in, and when my time came, take full advantage of it, and that's what happened.
Saw many pictures that your wife put up on Facebook, and it just seemed like you two together celebrated this moment, and it was a moment a long time coming. And it's almost like, in my mind, I looked at the picture and I said, this is Eddie and Jamie going, hey guys, leave us alone. This is our moment.
Absolutely. I mean, it's only right we celebrate it together because we damn sure sacrificed for it together. We have 4 kids at home. It's me and my wife. We're a team. When the schedule gets heavy on me, it gets heavy on her because she's at home with just the 4 of them, and she has to make the house keep going, and everything's got to go smoothly. So we're one of the best teams you can have, and we do a damn good job. So just being here this weekend, win the world title, she's the first one I looked at and just nodded my head and said we did it.
Now, Eddie, of course, a lot of people are going to ask you what's next. Who do you fight next? Obviously, the target's on your back now. Everybody's going to fight you. There have been no easy fights for you. You mentioned you made a joke at the post-fight press conference. I need a gimme fight. Give me Conor McGregor.
Was that a joke?
That's a gimme fight.
Was that a joke? You thought that was a joke?
I don't want to run into Conor in the hallway. You can run into Conor in the hallway. I'm not going to run into Conor in the hallway.
Did I say that was a joke?
I thought it was a joke.
I don't remember me saying that was a joke.
Well, it was a joke in the fact that in a way, like I've had no easy fights yet. Give me an easy one. Give me Conor.
There was no pun intended.
Okay, fine.
I was just saying how I felt.
All right, but obviously there's guys lining up, and lightweight division has been the deepest for many years. Who do you think is going to be next?
I do. I would really like to see the winner of Conor and Nate. I don't care. Like, me and Nate got into it in Mexico.
Yeah, I
we
remember.
almost fought at the weigh-ins. Would love to see that guy inside the cage.
And what's funny that you guys were cool before that moment, and
Totally cool.
But you were fighting one of his boys. You were fighting Gilbert. That's how he is.
Yeah. Then I mean, look, it's a fist fight. When this is all done, everybody's cool again. Let's just save ourselves the bullshit and just act like normal adult human beings. There was no need for that. It was like real childish and corny. So, I'd love to get into it with him or Conor or George St. Pierre talks about coming back at 155. God, that's a dream matchup for me. That guy's, he's been an idol of mine. Would love to fight a guy like that. So, any one of them guys sounds good to me.
A lot of people may not. I mean, there's a lot of new fans in UFC since the Fox days. A lot of people may not know who you are, what you've done in your career. I mean, you were fighting in Bodog back in the day. Josh Thompson likes to joke about how he was what they used to call an HD fighter because it was in HD. You know what I mean? Remember those days?
Yeah.
Can you just give us a quick overview of your career from start to finish? Well, not from start to where you are now.
I understand. I paid $250 to fight my first fight. I fought in a basketball gym. The Ultimate Fighter wasn't even a show. I fought in front of 75 people in Newark. I believe it was Exit 13A in Elizabeth, New Jersey. That was my very first fight. I paid money so I can fight. This was just clearly a hobby. There was no end in sight. Never thought about it being a career. The Ultimate Fighter takes off, and boom, money starts coming in, and you're able to make a career out of fist fighting, and that was incredible to me.
I remember you fighting in Philadelphia many times. I've known you for a long time, and one of the things promoters always used to say is that getting Eddie Alvarez on the card, either in Jersey or Philly, I'm going to make money because Eddie sells tickets. You hustled, didn't you?
Hustled. We sold tickets the same way you would sell drugs in Philadelphia. We set up each neighborhood. We put a lockbox in each neighborhood at the biggest business there was. We put a lockbox with tickets, and then we'd say to people, go here. This is where tickets will be available. We gave the business owner a cut of the tickets, and we just pick up the lockboxes at the end of the week. We did that in every neighborhood in Philadelphia and made it really convenient for people to go and buy their tickets. And when they all come, it's important to put on a show and knock the guys out and have them want to come back for more. So that was our system. That's the way we got it done. And hopefully we can fight locally again in Philadelphia with the UFC, and we'll set up the same system.
Well, look, and luckily you don't have to sell the tickets anymore. You don't need the lock boxes.
I will still go grassroots. I just like it that way.
But now you can focus on, like you said, putting on a show and knocking the guys out. What you did to RDA was just something that was a beautiful sight for anybody who's an Eddie Alvarez fan, but more importantly, anybody who's an MMA fan, because both of you guys put on a great show. What struck me as not odd and not funny, but almost remarkable was that when the fight was stopped, Rafael just turned and walked away, and he looked dejected. He didn't look like he was going down, and I just thought that's how tough he is, because he was out. He was out on his feet, and then the fight stopped. He just turned around and walked off like, I lost. It wasn't my night, and I thought that was very, very commendable of him.
He's a veteran, man. Look, going to this fight, I'd be some days super confident, and then some days going, man, you're about to fight the best lightweight that there is in this division, possibly ever been. This guy, what he's done to top competition in his past couple fights has been incredible. And he's no less of a fighter today. Rafael dos Anjos is still one of the best lightweights in the division. I had the better night. I was focused. I have the belt right now, but guy's mega dangerous, and no one can put that past him.
Last question for you. I know you're busy, and I appreciate the time today. You said at the post-fight press conference that this is my belt now. It's not going to be here forever, so I'm just going to enjoy it while I have it and work to defend it. And I thought that was a very, very mature, grounded way, and like you said, of RDA, a veteran's way of looking at your future. Can you just explain to me that what you were thinking when you said that?
I just think we're never defined by our one loss. I've been a champion. I've lost my title before, and we're never defined by one win. When you become the champion, you're not necessarily best in the world. You haven't fought everyone in the world. You fought a couple guys who are considered the best. So for me, it's just about continually growing, being passionate about the sport, doing what you love to do, and having fun with it. This is just simply a byproduct of all them things I just said. When I win a world title, it's a byproduct. When I get a big check, it's a byproduct of just being passionate, loving what I do, and enjoying it. They come and go, but the things I gain as a person and grow, they'll stay forever, and that's the value I look at in this.
Hopefully those big checks keep coming, Eddie, because like you said, you guys sacrificed for a long time, and the last few years haven't been easy for you guys. Yeah. So let's keep these big checks coming.
Hell yeah.
Eddie Alvarez, the new lightweight UFC champion of the world. Thanks very much, bro.
Thank you.